I'm doing a little experiment now. This is in aid of the glaciers, first the glaciers in Peru. The principle is this. Since we haven't had enough success in persuading people, that is decision makers and company owners, etc., and politicians, that global warming is an urgent emergency that needs to be tackled immediately, then we are looking for ways to try to buy more time until such event happens as the people who need to be persuaded persuade themselves or come on board. What am I saying? That global warming is killing the glaciers, and the glaciers will run out of water, and about 500 million people will have no water. In India, for instance, as the glaciers of the Himalayas pour their water out too fast, and it goes into the Ganges and disappears into the sea, the Indian Ocean, the water table of the northern eastern part of India has gone down so low that the peasants no longer can bring up water with their pumps. The country in the world which has the most fragile glaciers and depends entirely on glaciers for their water is Peru. In addition to the great percent of the population living in the diluvial plain between the Andean Mountains and the Pacific Ocean, which is entirely fed by glacier water, the glaciers themselves are not made of ice, as most glaciers are. They're made of snow, packed snow. These melt much faster than frozen glaciers do. In addition to that, for instance, the mighty Amazon, the world's widest river, with more water flowing in it than any other river, begins in a stream, in a glacier in Peru. So, we've devised a method. It has to be done on a macro scale, but we're trying to show in a micro environment right now how one might delay the departure of the world's glaciers. Now we're going to take 2 bowls of ice. We're going to wrap one of them in reflective foil, in tin foil in fact, and aluminum foil. And this will, we'll put them on the stove, each of them in the same temperature, and we'll wait until the ice has melted, and when the ice has melted in the one that has no protective cover, then we'll open the one up that has the protective cover to see how much longer that ice has lasted. This principle we want to apply to some of the glaciers in Peru to make sure it works, and then to more when we've demonstrated that it works. Hopefully we can buy a couple of decades for the glaciers, and if this works, then we can apply it to glaciers throughout the world. The polar glaciers are giving up their water at a great rate, and that's going to rise the ocean. And the majority of the world's population lives within a couple of feet of sea level. So, or at least a great percent. I shouldn't have said the majority because I don't have the exact figure, but a great percent of the world's population lives very close to sea level. And when the sea rises, of course, they'll have to move back or build expensive seawalls. Here we go. We're going to get some ice. I'm going to use one hand so I can use the other one for this camera. It's about a really cheap camera. Here we are, we have the ice. Better get the tin foil so they both go in at the same time. Don't want to give anyone an advantage, apart from the reflectiveness of the tin. Now what we'll be putting on glaciers is a little different to this. It will be double facing reflective plastic filament. Why double facing? Because the reflective part which faces down will keep the glacier isolated and insulated from the inside. That is, heat won't be inclined to escape because it'll be sent back down to the glacier. The other side will be facing up, and that side will reflect the sun's rays back into the air. Now, even when this reflective filament gets covered on the outside with snow or dirt, but probably snow, it will still continue to reflect whatever heat makes its way through the snow or melting water from the snow. It will reflect that or keep the heat from it going back from whence it came. In other words, directed away from the glacier. Here we are. We'll put this one here, and we'll put this one here, and we'll turn each of them on to medium-high. Yep, there's medium-high there, and here's medium-high here. So, I don't believe we'll break the bolts, and we'll let time pass. I'm going to turn this off now and turn it on again later.